In the deepest parts of the ocean, there are creatures that should not exist. Not because they are dangerous. Not because they are unknown. But because they don't make sense. They break the rules of biology. They defy what we think life needs to survive. And some of them, we still can't explain. The deep ocean is not just dark. It is a world without sunlight. Without warmth. Without mercy. Pressure here is crushing. Temperatures hover near freezing. Food is scarce, almost non-existent. And yet, life thrives. Strange life. Ancient life. Unimaginable life. To understand just how alien this place is, you need to forget everything you know about the surface world. Because down here, the rules are different. Scientists divide the ocean into zones. The sunlight zone. The twilight zone. And then, the midnight zone. Below that lies something even more extreme. The abyss. And deeper still, the Hadal zone. These are trenches so deep, they could swallow Mount Everest whole. And inside them, live creatures we barely understand. But this is where things get strange. For decades, scientists believed life at these depths would be simple. Tiny. Slow. Primitive. After all, there's no light for photosynthesis. No plants. No steady food source. So how could complex life exist? The answer was supposed to be simple. It couldn't. But the ocean had other ideas. In 1977, something changed everything. Researchers exploring the seafloor near the Galapagos Islands discovered hydrothermal vents. Cracks in the Earth's crust, spewing superheated, mineral-rich water. These vents were toxic. Filled with chemicals that would kill most life instantly. And yet, surrounding them, was a thriving ecosystem. Giant tube worms. Ghostly white crabs. Bizarre fish with translucent skin. An entire world, built without sunlight. Instead of photosynthesis, these creatures relied on chemosynthesis. Bacteria converting chemicals like hydrogen sulfide into energy. It was like finding a forest growing without the sun. But that discovery raised an even bigger question. If life could exist like this, what else was hiding in the dark? And that's not even the weirdest part. Because some creatures down here don't just survive the deep, they exploit it in ways that seem almost impossible. Take the anglerfish. A predator built for darkness. Its most famous feature, a glowing lure extending from its head. Bioluminescence. A chemical reaction that produces light. But not just any light. A cold, efficient glow, perfectly designed to attract prey. Imagine sitting in total darkness, and seeing a small flicker in the distance. Curiosity pulls you closer. And then, you're gone. But the real reason this fish is so fascinating, isn't the lure. It's how it reproduces. In the deep ocean, finding a mate is nearly impossible. So anglerfish evolved a solution that sounds like science fiction. The male fuses with the female. Literally. He bites into her body, and slowly dissolves into her bloodstream. Becoming nothing more than a living appendage. A permanent parasite, providing sperm on demand. This would be like a person permanently attaching another human, just to ensure reproduction. It's extreme. It's bizarre. And it works. To understand why this happens, you have to understand scarcity. In the deep ocean, everything is rare.
Food is rare. Encounters are rare. Opportunities are rare. So evolution becomes ruthless. It favors anything that increases survival, no matter how strange. But even this level of adaptation doesn't fully explain what we keep finding. Because some deep-sea creatures don't just look alien. They behave in ways we can't easily explain. Take the vampire squid. Despite its terrifying name, it doesn't hunt like a predator. It drifts. Floating in oxygen-poor waters, where most animals would suffocate. It feeds on marine snow. Tiny particles of dead matter drifting down from above. But here's the mystery. It doesn't expend much energy. It barely moves. And yet, it survives in a zone where oxygen levels are dangerously low. Lower than what most complex life can tolerate. So how does it do it? Scientists still aren't entirely sure. But this is where things get even more unsettling. Because sometimes, we find creatures that don't just adapt to the deep. They seem designed for it in ways that challenge our understanding of biology itself. Creatures with no eyes. Or too many eyes. Bodies that are nearly transparent. Or completely gelatinous. Why? Because at extreme pressure, traditional structures fail. Bones become liabilities. Air spaces collapse. So instead, life becomes soft. Flexible. Fluid. Almost ghost-like. And then there are the giants. Yes, giants. Despite the lack of food, some deep-sea creatures grow to enormous sizes. This phenomenon is called deep-sea gigantism. Giant isopods, the size of small dogs. Massive squid with eyes as big as dinner plates. Why would animals grow larger in a place with so little energy? One theory suggests that larger bodies are more efficient. They conserve energy better. They travel farther. But the truth is, we don't fully know. And that uncertainty is what makes the deep ocean so fascinating. Because for every answer we discover, new questions emerge. Every expedition reveals something unexpected. A creature never seen before. A behavior never documented. Sometimes, even entire ecosystems. And yet, we've explored less than 25% of the ocean floor. Let that sink in. Most of our planet remains unseen. Unmapped. Unstudied. Unknown. But the real mystery isn't just what we haven't found. It's what we have found, and still don't understand. Creatures that glow without heat. Animals that survive without oxygen. Organisms that rewrite the basic rules of life. It forces us to ask a deeper question. Are these creatures truly strange? Or is our understanding of life simply incomplete? Because if life can exist like this on Earth, what does that mean for life elsewhere? On other planets. In other oceans. Under ice-covered worlds. The deep sea may not just be Earth's final frontier. It might be a window into something much bigger. And yet, even here, on our own planet, in waters we can reach, we are still discovering things that feel impossible. Creatures that appear and disappear. Behaviors that defy explanation. Patterns that don't quite add up. But the most unsettling truth is this: some of these creatures we have only seen once.
Some of these creatures we have only seen once. Captured in a single moment. A fleeting glimpse in the dark. A blurry frame. A strange silhouette. A shape that doesn't match anything in our records. And then, they vanish. No second sighting. No specimen. No explanation. It's like the ocean is hiding something. Take, for example, the mysterious black swallower. A fish no longer than your arm. Unremarkable at first glance. Until you see what it can do. It can swallow prey, larger than itself. Much larger. Sometimes twice its size. Imagine a backpack, trying to swallow a full-grown human. It sounds impossible. But the black swallower does it by stretching its stomach to extreme limits. Skin expands. Organs shift. Everything rearranges, just to fit one meal. But here's where things take a darker turn. Sometimes, it overestimates. The prey begins to decompose inside it, releasing gas. The fish inflates like a balloon. And then, it floats upward. Dead. A victim of its own biology. But this is where things get strange. Because even with all we know about deep-sea adaptations, there are still sightings that don't fit any known category. Creatures that appear too large. Too fast. Too wrong. One such example is the so-called giant phantom jelly. A massive, ribbon-like organism, drifting silently through the abyss. No stinging tentacles. No visible brain. Just a long, flowing body, moving with eerie precision. It has been recorded only a handful of times. No one has captured one. No one has fully studied it. And yet, it exists. Somewhere in the dark. To understand why we keep encountering these mysteries, you have to understand how little we actually see. Most deep-sea exploration relies on remotely operated vehicles. Small machines, equipped with lights and cameras. But light is a problem. In the deep ocean, light doesn't belong. Many creatures avoid it. Others react unpredictably. Some may even disappear the moment our machines arrive. It's like trying to study nocturnal animals, by shining a spotlight directly into their eyes. We are not observing the deep ocean as it truly is. We are disturbing it. And that means, we might be missing everything. And that's not even the weirdest part. Because some scientists believe there are entire ecosystems down there we haven't even begun to detect. Not around vents. Not near the seafloor. But suspended in the water column itself. Hidden in layers of darkness. A kind of midnight wilderness, where creatures drift, hunt, and evolve, completely out of sight. We call this the midwater zone. And it might be the least understood habitat on Earth. In this zone, animals don't rely on the ground. There are no landmarks. No boundaries. Just endless, open darkness. So how do they survive? Some use bioluminescence, not to hunt, but to hide. A strategy called counter-illumination. They produce light on their underside, matching the faint glow from above. To predators below, they disappear. Invisible. It's like wearing camouflage made of light. Others take a more extreme approach. Transparency. Bodies so clear, they are nearly impossible to see. Organs reduced to the bare minimum. Blood that doesn't carry color. Even their muscles are arranged to avoid casting shadows. These creatures are not just adapted to darkness. They are adapted to absence. But the deeper we go, the more reality begins to feel unstable. Because pressure at these depths doesn't just affect bodies. It affects chemistry. Proteins behave differently. Cell membranes change structure. Even basic biological processes start to shift. To survive here, life has had to reinvent itself at the molecular level. This isn't just adaptation. It's transformation. And yet, even with all this knowledge, we still encounter things that defy explanation. Like deep-sea sounds. Unidentified noises, recorded miles below the surface. Clicks. Hums. Low-frequency pulses. Some resemble known marine animals. Others don't match anything at all. One famous example, known as the bloop, was so powerful, it was detected across vast distances. Initially, scientists were puzzled. What could produce a sound that loud, in the deep ocean? A creature? A geological event? Eventually, it was linked to ice movement. But for a time, it reminded us of something unsettling. There are things in the ocean we hear before we understand. But the real reason the deep ocean still hides so many mysteries is not just because it's vast. It's because it's active. Constantly changing. Currents shift. Seafloors crack. Ecosystems rise and collapse. Hydrothermal vents can appear and disappear. Entire communities can form and vanish in geological moments. So even if we explore one area, it might be completely different the next time we return. To understand this, imagine trying to map a forest, where the trees grow, move, and disappear overnight. That is the deep ocean. Unstable.